Students, welcome to the session. In the previous session, we had gone through in the same topic, that is activity planning. There is nothing but your what you can say the forward pass, fine, backward pass, total float, free float, then what you mean by critical path, fine. So here early start and what you can say the late start can be identified by your forward pass, fine. Early start and late start can be identified by your forward pass, and early finish and late finish, these two components can be identified and can be known by the backward pass, fine. So whenever you have to perform the forward pass and the backward pass, you are going to identify and you are going to come up with the values for the what you can say the early start, late start, early finish and late finish for that particular activity. See here a project means it is what you can say, it's an combination or the what you can say the different type of activities involved in it. So project is not only a one single unit, so it is a different types of activities involved in that particular project, fine. So let us start with the what you can say the one. Sometimes it will be the resource allocation, sometimes it may be the planning, sometimes it may be the what you can say the development, sometimes it may be the deal with the design of that particular project, sometimes the refinement of the plan should be done in that context, fine. And sometimes it will be for the testing, and sometimes it will be for the delivering of that product to the market. So there are different what you can say the activities which involved in that particular project, fine. And sometimes it may be the feasibility study also. So for that, so each and every project, the project manager or the team leader has a complete what you can say the duration allocated to that particular project. So how you are going to identify that duration, the what you can say the total the duration of that project can be identified by performing or by identifying the forward pass, the backward pass, the what you can say the critical path, fine, and what are the these values. So based on that, okay, that values will be your same, the early start, late start, early finish and late finish for that particular activity. So by performing so, what you can say the team leader or the project manager will come to one conclusion saying that okay, this much duration will be taken approximately, or what you can say around that particular time, and the so much amount is required to that particular project. So he will come to one conclusion. So by performing the forward and backward pass. So then it comes the critical path, fine. So we have found that the critical path activity, so whenever there is a necessary saying that what you can say the difference between your early start and fine, early start and early finish, and the difference between your late start and late finish, if it comes for the same value, then there should not be what you can say, you cannot make any deviation in the planned what you can say the duration, fine. If you make any delay to that what you can say the activity which forms the critical path, so your complete project may be delayed by that much time. See, suppose if you delayed by 2 days or 3 days, your complete project duration will be delayed by 2 days or 3 days. So that is what you should not deviate the what you can say what what you have planned or whatever assigned to that particular activity which forms the critical path. So for that, so the total float is 0. So in the morning session we have gone through the total float is 0 for such kind of activities. So you should not deviate, you cannot make any alteration in the particular activity for that node, fine. So that is nothing but your critical path, fine. So critical path, forward pass, backward pass, fine. And then what you can say the total float and free float can be calculated based on that. So what is this activity planning is for? So we have already gone through, fine. So what should be the introduction part of this activity planning? So whenever you start working for a particular project, So planning is not an one shot, what you can say, the picture where you are going to take and you are come up with some conclusion. So there are different type of obstacles which comes under in the path of your project execution. Fine. So the planning, activity planning, it may remain same and it may change during the execution of the project, because while you start executing the project, you may face a different type of obstacles in the execution path of your project. So in that case, whatever you have planned before, that may not remain same while executing that project. Fine. So one reason for that obstacle may be the change in the, what you can say, the customer requirement. Okay, so whatever you have planned, okay, so you have something in your mind based on the customer requirement. Okay, I will go for this particular tool, I will go for this particular technology. Fine. And so much amount, or I will invest in that particular. So you have some, what you can say, the rough idea in your mind saying that how to complete that particular task or project. But when the project requirement or the customer requirement changes, according to that, again you have to replan whatever you have already planned to that particular task. Okay, so that activity planning will not remain same every time during the execution of the, what you can say, the project. Fine. So it may differ in the form of different type of models what you are going to use for that. Fine. So one is waterfall model is there. Fine. Incremental model is there. Reuse model is there. So based on that, the activities will also be different. Fine. So what do you mean by the SDLC? The different models which you have adapted for that particular project, that can be considered in the form of what you can say, the software development life cycle models. Fine. So if it is a waterfall model, for example, so if it is a waterfall model, means then you have to everything you have to plan in what you can say, in advance. Okay, once you start proceeding with that waterfall model, so if you adapt adapt the waterfall model, once you start executing, so then there you cannot come back to the previous stage, you cannot change, or you cannot, what you can say, the modify, or you cannot go for the previous what you can say, the activity. Fine. So because in waterfall model, each and every activity depends on each other. Fine. So first model, second is depend on first, third is depend on second, fourth is depend on third. So that is how every module, the preceding module, are based on, what you can say, the dependent on the previous modules, because they give some inputs to proceed. Fine. If you are using the waterfall model, so then you cannot come back. So for that, such kind of projects, so it is very well versed, you should be very firm in your planning. Whatever cost you are investing, whatever time you are investing, whatever knowledge you are investing to that particular project, it should be very firm once you start executing, so you cannot come back to the previous stage. So this is one type, that is waterfall model. So then it comes, the another this thing is your incremental model. Okay, so whenever it is required, so you are going to release the project increment by increment. Fine. So increment by increment means what? So whenever project is getting released, okay, the customer requirement is only that particular phase. Okay, so whenever you are releasing the project, only some part of the project will be revealed to the market, or it will be published to the customer, so that the customer start using that. So whenever time passes, whenever and they are going to take the, what you can say, in other words, the customer feedback they have taken for that first module, what they have released it to the customer or to the market. Fine. So based on that, what you can say, the feedback, they are going to come up with some increment to the existing model. Fine. So that is nothing but incremental development to that particular model. Fine. Or to the software, you can say it as. See, for example, whenever we have used the WhatsApp, fine, you take the Facebook as an example. Fine, any application which you download from your Play Store, from the mobile, so every time, so they will ask you for the updation of that project. So what is that updation? Is a small increment to that existing software. Fine. So whenever there is a new, what you can say, the update come from your Play Store, you are not going to uninstall the WhatsApp which is already installed in your phone, but you just say update, and that patch or that increment will get adapted in your software. So that is what is the increment development model. Fine. So that is what the Facebook, you take any kind of software, so they will come up with the updation. The some future, the feature enhancement and the some advancement should be will be there in that patches or the increment, and that will be getting updated in your existing software. So such kind of, what you can say, the projects, the planning will be different. So for waterfall model it will be different, and for what you can say the incremental development there will be a different, for extreme programming there will be a different, for reuse oriented softwares. Okay, what do you mean by reuse oriented? So that software is component is already there, fine, that component is already there, so I am reusing the existing software or the component for some other projects, or for meanwhile or permanently I am taking that if it is the previous project work is been done. So resources can be reused. So based on that, based on the models, what you can say, the waterfall model, incremental model, then you can say that reuse oriented model, based on that the activity plans will be different. So how you are going to allocate the resources, that is based on these software development lifecycle models which you are going to adapt to that particular the product development or the project development, you can say it as. So if it comes with the waterfall, everything should be very firm, you should be very sure about your planning and all. If it is an increment, so part by part you are giving the increment to the project, and then you proceeding with the delivering of that particular project or the product to the customer, you can say it as. Then it comes to reuse, means already, so no need to put much amount in the reuse component model or something in that, because already we do have resources which are available for that particular project. So if it is done with that, then you can share those what you can say the resources with some other project, so that the planning will be different, because here the investing is different, feasibility study comes the different, and time investing is different, and money investing is different in case of your reuse oriented model compared to other this thing. So this activity planning, what we are discussing, the objectives, this activity planning will be different based on the different type of SDLC, that is software development lifecycle models you are going to adapt for such kind of what you can say the products, fine. So in that case, in generally you should be what you can say the ensure that the appropriate resources will be available precisely when required. So this is first and foremost thing which is required. So so first one is appropriate resources should be available. See, whenever you wanted to perform that particular task, that resource must be available. So you have planned you have planned for a particular activity, for that so and so resources are required for that, fine. So for feasibility study some of the what you can say the analysis of the resources is to be done, analysis of resources in the form of money is also to be done, and the different type of resources in the form of hardware, software, in case of networking, if it is a network based applications or something, in that case, so you have to analyze, fine, so which is required. So those must be available whenever you are performing with that particular task, that is the resources must be available when you are performing with that particular task well in advance. So then comes avoid a different activities competing for the same resources for the same time. This also happens for the many times whenever when it comes to, that is what I told, the reuse oriented model or something. So whenever you are sharing the resources in the form of people, that is people, fine, then and the another form is money, and the another form is resources, fine. So that may be the anything, that resource may be anything, it can be an hardware, it can be a software, it can be any kind of a tools, fine, it can be a manpower, it can be a money, fine. So these resources, what you can say, you should take care that you are not coming up with the two kind of activities where you need to share the resources at the same time. It should not happen, fine. It may may be difficult for that perform, fine. Next comes detailed schedule showing which staff carry out each and every activity, fine. So the detailed schedule, fine, the detailed schedule and the detailed financing and the detailed planning is very important in case of your activity planning. The detailed what you can say the information to the staff has to be given, or the detailed information to that employee is to be given well in advance. What is his task and what he need to perform, what are his roles and responsibilities must be explained to that particular employee, saying that okay, this is your role, you have to perform this much. So that has to be intimated well in advance. There should not be any ambiguity. in the previous session of handling the people in what you can say software environments, we have gone through what are the different type of conflicts we come across, fine, what are the different type of what you can say the adoption, the employee is going to face the problem in between two person, the higher ups or something. Fine. So there are different levels of this thing. So whenever team leader and the project manager assigning a task, he should be very firm. He should assign the task to that particular employee, saying that okay, this is what is your work and this is what you need to perform. These are your roles. These are your responsibilities. Fine. Everything should be very clear, detailed. What you can say, the information has to be given to that particular employee. So then it comes detailed plan, schedule is done. Fine. And time cash flow forecast, fine, that is also an important this thing. So out of total budget for that particular project, so how much amount you are giving to that particular each and every activity, fine. So for first phase, fine, it will be some amount is released. For second phase, some amount will be released. For the development or testing, it may take a much amount to what you can say the spend on that particular activity. So you need to analyze which is required in case of this money and time. So then that much time will be or money will be allocated to that particular employee. So you should be very short where you are explaining all the things in case of your activity planning, fine. Then project duration is its a correct drift from the target. So here you can observe we have mentioned the activity planning, the objectives of that particular activity planning. So first one is the feasibility assessment, then resource allocation, then detailed costing, then motivation to the employees, then coordination between the teams. So all these are very important in case of what you can say the activity planning process, fine. What is the feasibility assessment? So feasibility assessment is one where you are going to check the available resources, fine, in the different form, fine. So in case of first you will be finding the economical feasibility, the technical feasibility, fine. There are different type of feasibilities which may applicable to your project, fine. So feasibility study has to be completely done. So the technical feasibility is there. So whenever the technical is not what you can say is affordable by you, it is not available with you, so you cannot adopt that particular technology or something, so there will be a failure of technical feasibility or something. So your project or the product, if it is incomplete to what you can say the perform that particular task, so that is also an what you can say the technical feasibility. So whether it is possible from you or not, that you are going to check. The money investment, that is the economical feasibility for the project. Just by saying by words, fine, so it is very easy, but while investing the actual amount, that will be a problem, fine. So that economical feasibility. So there are different type of what you can say the feasibility test or the assessment has to be done. So whether that project, what you are going to perform, so how much amount you are taking from the customer, how much you are investing, what is your profit rate. So apart from that, you have to give the salary to your employee also. The everything in case of the feasibility assessment unit should be very firm. Then it comes the resource allocation, fine. The resource allocation, you should take care that which activity needs which type of resource and at what time, for how much time also, that is an very important this thing. See here, what you can say is in the, we do have what you can say the lab resources which can be shared between the different departments, fine. So from 8 to 11 there will be a one lab, from 11 to 2 in the same lab resources can be shared with some other departments. So similarly, what you can say the different type of resources, the same resources can be shared by the different type of people or the departments, you can say it as. So this resource allocation should be taken care, how much up to what extent you are sharing, so whether it is required, so both the activities are working simultaneously or what. So resource sharing needs to be take care in that context, fine. So then it comes detailed costing. So you should not be what you can say in a confused state, so that okay, this may take approximately this much amount is required for that. So these words won't work in case of your detailed costing. So in detailed costing, how much amount you are investing, what is the cost, how many products you want to invest in that, fine, and what is your profit, everything including your employee salary, it comes under the detailed costing of that particular project. Based on that, your project manager and the team leader will analyze the things, and then he is going to give the what you can say the detailed design to his employee or to his what you can say the higher ups or something, Fine. So then it comes the motivation. So this is also a very what you can say the important factor. So where whenever the targets are being seen, to monitor and achievement against the targets is an effective way of motivating a staff. Fine. So motivation to a staff is a very important factor. This also we have learned in case of software environments or handling the people in software environments. In that case, you should not motivate a particular employee. Fine. So if he is working fine, then you should motivate saying that okay, it is working fine, well said, good work, like that. You have to, what you can say, motivate him. If he is not working properly or he is facing some problem, for example, then you have to give some suggestions. Okay, instead of this, you can go for that particular aspect, you can work on it, so it will be easy for you if you go through that particular algorithm, for example. So there must be some, what you can say, the suggestions will be given. Based on that, you should not demotivate your employee. The working, what you can say, the environment will be lapsed because of this. So next one is the coordination. So this coordination should be there between the, what I can say, the different type of people who involve themselves in the different activities and the different type of department also. Fine. So in the different type of departments, that is what. So whenever there is project need to be developed where an electrical person is also required and the computer knowledge person is also required, and the, what you can say, the management people, those who are investing the money, they also required. Fine. So there are, what you can say, the different type of a department people are involved in one project with the different aspects. Fine. So they should be coordinate with each other. Fine. So in that, so they should maintain a healthy environment in case of your project duration and the execution. So these are all the basic, what you can say, the objectives of your activity planning. Then it comes when to plan. Fine. When to plan. So planning is an, what is that, ongoing process. Fine. That is what I discussed. Fine. Based on whatever software development life cycle you are going to adapt, based on that activity planning will be different. But in case of your when to plan or something, so it is, planning is an ongoing process. Fine. So usually nowadays also the planning is will be not fixed. Whenever the new customer requisition, whenever, what you can say, the new feedback come from the customer, which is an advancement to the software which you have already revealed to the market, so that you can adapt that. So your planning will be, may keep on changing every time whenever it is required to adapt some changes to that particular project. Fine. So first and foremost thing, during the feasibility study, the project starts. Fine. The planning comes. Just now we discussed the feasibility study. After that, in case of your how much people they are investing the money in that. Fine. So if it is a limited amount of, what you can say, the amount or the money constraint is related to that, then it will be a different type of, what you can say, the plan will be there. When you have, what you can say, the sufficient money support with you, then you can go for the different type of a plan for the development or the betterment of that project, you can say it as. Fine. So throughout the project until the final deliverable has reached the customer, the, what you can say, the monitoring and planning must continue to correct the drift of the, what you can say, the project, to prevent the the difficulties. Fine. So say suppose for example, if you are using a particular software, fine. So there is an advancement to the software which is already available in the market. So whatever you have planned, so that you are going to refine of that particular project plan, then you are going to adopt a new software which is very feasible compared to the existing one. So so your plan will be changed during the this thing. Fine. Then project schedules. So in the project schedule, first one is sorry. Fine. The first one is producing the plan to decide what activities need to be carried out and what is the order they are to be done. Fine. So in the first schedule, so that is plan to decide what activities need to be carried out and what is the order to be done. Okay. So then next one is resources allocation to those particular activities. Fine. Then final or the next step will be the schedule production. Once the resources have been allocated to each activity, fine. So we will be in a what you can say the position to drop the publish the what you can say the project schedule and which will be working in that context. So the project schedule means whenever it starts with the feasibility study, you have to think what is the feasibility study, so how much amount you are investing, time you are investing, knowledge you are investing, that you are going to think. Then after the complete plan, okay, so what is the coordination between the employees, that also you need to think in that context. Then resource will be allocated to that particular activity. Fine. Once the resources available with that particular what you can say activity, you can proceed with the execution of your task. Then next one is project and activities in general. They have mentioned project and activities. We'll discuss. Project and activities. First will be defining the activity. So then it comes identifying the activity. Fine. So first one is defining, identifying the activity. Fine. So based on the different aspects involved in that. So here in case of your identifying the activities, we do have a different types. So first one is activity based approach. Activity based approach. Fine. Then product based approach. Product based approach and hybrid approach. Okay, what you can say, there are different types of projects and the different type of activities involved in that project. Fine. So first one is identifying or defining the activities, and then it comes identifying the activities. Fine. So first one is in the defining activities, we will have a project is composed of a number of integrated of activities. Yes, of course. A project may start and at least one of its activities is ready to start. A project will be completed when all the activities encompasses. Fine. Or you can say it as completed, then only project will be completed. Fine. And an activity must have a clearly defined what you can say the start and the defined end point normally to the activities. Okay. Then next one is activity requires resources. Fine. The resources, then that resources requirement may be forecastable and is assumed to be required for a constant. These are the different type of what you can say how you are going to manage that particular defining of that activity. Fine. So defining the activity, then comes the identifying the activity. In that we do have activity based approach, product based approach and hybrid approach. So in case of activity approach, so in the next class we will come up with what you can say the example how activity based approach can be performed, how your product based approach can be performed, and how your hybrid based approach can be performed. So here activity means in the project what are the different type of activity, work what is the breakdown structure will be developed. In this case work is getting divided into the different segments, and based on that the activity based approach, the what you can say activities will be allocated based on the that particular aspect. Then it comes to the product based approach. Okay, so this is a different what you can say the version where you are going to allocate the activity. Hybrid, which is the combination of these two, and some different implications will come under the hybrid activities. Fine. So in the next class we will come up with some of the examples which comes for this hybrid activity based and the product based. Thank you.